Tom,
Yes.
you auditioned for Ken.
I did many times. Yeah.
But particularly, I'm talking about Thor when you were
yes,
getting Loki, which kind of changed your life.
It did, yeah. My life has changed thanks to this man.
Yeah.
It is, and it's a pleasure to be sitting with him on your sofa.
Is that where the Hiddlestoners came from Loki?
That's a whole other world I don't know about.
You know all about the Hiddlestoners.
You know, they're very sweet, mostly benign. Yeah, there's a few of them.
And then the Hiddlestoners get Hiddleboners. This all comes from him, not me. I'm not making this. I'm not making this. This is him.
I don't know. I've never. That's something I haven't put out. I haven't put that out into. If you'll pardon the expression, I haven't extended that into the. No, they're generally, you know, they're generally. I find myself lost for words.
Okay.
But no, they're sweet and benign, and they're fans, and yeah.
No, you are fabulous as Loki. Absolutely brilliant. But apparently you originally auditioned. No offence is meant by my incredulity here.
That's all right.
But you originally auditioned for Thor.
Yep.
Did you encourage him to do that, Ken?
It was a very sort of brilliant kind of pitch for the part. I mean, he'd come in and wowed the room as Loki and as Thor. We were an emerging and evolving script, so it was always changing. But fair play to Tom, he just went for it.
In the end, Ken, why did you go with this then? In the end, was it the longer hair? Was it?
I think it was the hair. I think it was really the.
That's my brother from another mother.
Yeah, you know, Thor.
Yeah.
Oh, Thor.
Chris Hemsworth is made out of genetically modified material. He wouldn't mind my saying that. He's a sort of genetic anomaly, I think.
I was a bit embarrassed when we came to do the scene in the movie where he takes his shirt off. I just felt a little uncomfortable talking about the sort of how we would do it, and I felt as though, well, maybe he'll feel that he shouldn't or couldn't, or it's a bit whatever. So I remember going to see him that morning, saying, look, you know, I think it might be good if you get your shirt off, but you may be feeling... He said, of course I'm going to get my bloody shirt off, mate. I've been training for 9 months for this fucking thing.
You know, people love the event, and now, Tom Hiddleston, you have fan art, but such specific fan art.
There's a lot, yeah.
And does it all come from this one scene? Was it the first Thor movie with the spear?
Right, yeah. Yes, there's a scene in the first Thor film where I'm trying to attack Thor, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, with a spear. And I jump in the air, and he dodges out the way, and I bring the spear down, and it wedges itself into the floor. And then I use it to spin myself around and kick him in the chest, which has been interpreted by fans as a demonstration of my hidden talent at pole dancing.
Pole dancer! Yeah. No, seriously, there's so much of this. This is just one example of Loki really going for it on the pole.
Oh, my God.
Is that Japanese by
And that's
chance?
what you wear in the movie?
Have you not seen it? Yeah, that's Loki's outfit. Yeah.
Oh my God, I've not seen that one.
Oh, really? We'll print it out. You can take it home. Wow. But you actually went to locations.
Yeah, I do think, actually, it's the great... Jordan Vogt-Roberts, who directed it, really was insistent that we go to places on Earth which are both beautiful and dangerous, so that it didn't feel like a digital environment. It felt like a real place. So we went to Oahu in Hawaii.
Dangerous. Scary. I'm terrified, Tom.
Yes, very windy there sometimes.
Very windy.
We went
The umbrella blew out of my cocktail.
We went to Queensland in Australia.
That's scary, I'll give you that. Yeah.
There are rainforests there, and they have the most, all the most dangerous animals in the world are in the state of Queensland in Australia. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, snakes, spiders.
Some of Queens are going, yeah! I escaped.
You know, and you'd see the funnel web spiders starting to...
Graham, but people do impressions of... People do impressions of you, don't they?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
What, am I in your canon?
No. I mean, I haven't... It's like, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do it until I met you, but I have. Do you want me to do it?
You clearly... Go, try. Go.
I don't know. So, can I have the cards? I need the cards.
Okay. You can have an old card.
No, don't worry.
You can have an old card. There's an
Need a
old
card.
There you go. Okay, go. So, welcome back. So you've never been on the show. I don't know if I've ever had. Is that okay? Okay. Yeah. I feel your pain, Bob. because it's not just singing; it's very specific singing, the yodeling and everything. I mean, presumably not everyone can do that.
No.
So, if you discovered you couldn't do it, were they going to fire you, or were they going to dub Hank Williams? What was going to happen?
I honestly don't know.
Can you yodel as Robert De Niro? All of your talents.
Let me check. No.
Can you give us a little yodel?
So it goes a little something like this. Oh, God, here we go. She's a low home, go home, and I am a low home, some blue. I wanted to say congratulations to you.
Why?
Didn't you win a huge award a couple of weeks ago?
Oh, I did. That was very kind of you. Thank you very much.
Graham won
I'm just humouring him. I didn't win an award.
You did. You won like a...
I did.
Huge special achievement.
It was almost like You're Going to Die Soon award. It was one of them.
It was a national...
Yes,
it was a national treasure award.
National treasure award. Something like that. Anyway, talking of people who know... Yeah, moving on. They're in my ear. Tell him to shut up! Tom Hiddleston, University. Have you had any bad reviews? No.
To make a man feel good, Graham. No, I was in a play. I'd never, ever been professionally reviewed. And in the paper the next day was a British theatre critic who said I was completely out of place, too young, too RADA, and projecting about as much masculinity as Graham Norton.
Wow. That's good. That's good. I've been dragged into your bad review. No, don't apologize. No, I've been dragged into your bad review. There's nothing to do. I wasn't even there.
Like it's your fault, sir.
Yes.
As I sit across from you now, I think how terrifically butch you are.
I've really made an effort tonight. One of your... Because you acted in school, but you were in school...
Yeah.
I mean, how posh is this? You go to see a school production, and Tom Hiddleston's in it with Eddie Redmayne.
Right, well, yes. He was a great talent even then. He was the star. He was a huge star. And we were in a school production of A Passage to India by E.M. Forster.
There must have been some really depressed parents going in to see that. They're doing A Passage to India. How long was it?
I have no idea. Very long, yeah.
Good.
So, all-boys school.
They're only halfway.
Eddie, the great Eddie Redmayne, the now Oscar-winning
Yeah.
Eddie Redmayne, was playing the female lead. And in The Passage to India, there's an expedition to this cultural landmark called the Marabar Caves by elephant. I'm delighted to reveal that I played the front right leg of the elephant that Eddie was riding.
So it was four of you to make the elephant?
That's right, yeah.
And he was sitting on you?
He's sitting on... We're holding a table with a cushion on top of it and also a tablecloth to cover our faces because our bodies are the elephant. Yeah, so that's...
Sounds awful.
You've
just got that picture in your head. Yeah, yeah.
I'm just like, I imagine just sitting there thinking, I haven't had a drink, we're at school, we're carrying some boy dressed as a girl on top of a table.
And my son's playing the front leg.
I can't even say that's my boy.
Front leg.
Great.
You know, as Tom was saying, you know, I think a lot of young actors, they revere you, so they look to you. But the other thing you inspire is impressions, people doing impressions. Now, when people do impressions of you, is it like sort of nails on a chalkboard, or do you kind of enjoy it?
No, I kind of enjoy it, especially if they do it well. So, no, it's great. I love it.
I only ask. No, because any Hiddlestoners watching will know, Tom Hiddleston does impressions. You do impressions of lots of people. So who is in your canon?
It's a expression of admiration, just to be clear. So I do impressions of people that I admire, and I sort of listen to them. The first time I did an impression that anyone was aware of, I was just telling a story about Midnight in Paris, the Woody Allen film I was in, and how I'd never read the whole script, and I thought it was set in the 20s. And I turned up and I bumped into Owen Wilson, who didn't look like he was in the 20s at all. And I said to him, so wait, hang on, who are you playing? Because I'm playing F. Scott Fitzgerald, and I know Corey Stoll's playing Ernest Hemingway, and we're all playing figures of history. And he went, oh, no. I'm from now. I go back in time. There's a time machine, and it's kind of cool, and it's kind of woody, and it's kind of awesome.
Very good.
I've been made to do impressions of my fellow Avengers. I think everyone does an impression of Christopher Walken because he's such an easy kind of. You know, I feel like what this show needs is more cowbell. It depends on what you like me to say. Basically, there's no punctuation. Anything that comes out of my mouth. I know whole pages of Heat.
You surprise me.
So there's the scene in the middle of the film, which you'll be familiar with. You were there.
The one person you don't need to explain it to.
So look, he remembers.
You're very good in this.
He remembers. Yeah. There's a scene in the middle of the film, which is because Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. He's there. Sorry about this.
Don't worry.
They're separated, like a great thriller. They're separated for the entire film, and they meet twice, once at the end and once in the middle. And it takes place at a restaurant in LA. It's a great scene. It's one of the great pieces of screen acting you can hope to watch. There it is. There's a picture of it. It's like it's a mutual recognition of each other. Anyway, so there's a bit where they sit and have coffee and have tea and talk about stuff. I'm going on. I apologise. Anyway, so Al Pacino at one point, Al Pacino says this. He goes, so. We're sitting here like a couple of regular fellas. I mean, you do what you do, I do what I gotta do. If I'm there and I gotta put you away, I won't like it. But if it's between you and some poor bastard whose wife you're gonna turn into a widow, brother, you are going down. And then Michael Mann cuts back to the esteemed gentleman at the end of the sofa. What if you do got me boxed in? I'm not gonna put you down. We've been face to face. Yeah. But I will not hesitate. Not for a second. That's my... This is so meta. I feel like I've gone into a parallel universe where
You're playing all these parts.
Yes, I apologise.
No, that's great.
I did an impression of Ken Branagh.
That was my favourite scene. In the
Was it
movie.
your favourite scene?
Yeah.
It's a
Still,
great...
Yeah. No, but my favorite scene that was written before, not because of doing it, but my favorite scene written in the
Yeah.
film. You know, that
It's a
film
great
was
piece
great.
of writing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
it feels like it plays in two singles in a way. Like
Yeah,
it just,
yeah,
and
yeah.
And it's like the most beautiful game of tennis.
Did you each do lots of takes? Did you do lots of
I
takes? or-
forget how many takes we did. I don't think we did more than 5 to 8 or 9 at the most. Maybe less.
And you talk about your dreams and you talk about your life. It's so great. It's so great. There's that bit, another bit where you go. Well, you know, he says, Pacino says, "So you never wanted a regular type life." and Bob, may I call you Bob?
Yeah.
Bob says, "What's that? Barbecues and ball games?" Yeah.